All right. Well, before we talk bets, we're going to have to go to the Predictor app. Let's hear it, Professor.
Yeah, this is going to be a big surprise for everybody. I think this is the first week that we'll have a big surprise. I have Ryan Blaney at the top. Then we got Truex second, Logano third, Larson fourth, and William Byron fifth.
Why categorize them? Group them. How do they look by groups? Are they all split up pretty even?
Blaney's a pretty big favorite.
20
honestly.
points.
Well, 10
sorry,
10-point favorite. And it's because we relate this track to New Hampshire and Phoenix, right? And so Blaney's been really good there. Like he was second at Phoenix the last two races. Blaney was fourth at Gateway last year. He was in the top 10 most of the race. Then he was the second average on lap time last year in this race. That's incorporated into that. And then he's just been good this year. Like, although he didn't win, this was his first win last week. He's been really good this year.
So let's talk about the race last year. Who won? Who was good?
So this race last year, what sticks out the most is going to be, this is where the Denny and Ross feud really ramped up. This is where actually Denny and Chase both got Ross Chastain last year here. And this is where Denny, just slowed Ross down. Remember where he just like kept moving back and forth on the backstretch.
This is basically where actions detrimental was born from.
Yes. And it's interesting that Chase and Denny were involved in this crash this weekend because they were on the same team at Gateway last year. But Joey Logano won in overtime, passing overtime over Kyle Busch. So that was
where was Blaney last year? There?
He was fourth.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because the Fords were good at this style of track, braking, shifting, Phoenix, Richmond, short tracks. But the Fords were good last week. Like, I didn't see that coming at the 1.5 miles. They obviously made some sort of gain. So whatever gain they made at the big tracks, I think will only carry forward.
Besides Blaney, the Ford was good.
Keselowski was good last week. Harvick was good for a while.
So, okay. No, wait. Chop has a point. I shouldn't just say the Fords because they weren't all good. But the good Fords were better than the good Fords normally are. How about that? Like, normally the best Ford's like fifth. This time there was a couple that drove up inside the top 5 or 6 for a lot of the day.
Even Buescher was good last week too.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about it then. If Blaney's the top of your list, he's not the top of the odds. Currently the favorite to win, Kyle Larson, 5-1. William Byron, 7-1. Truex, you can get double digits. Hamlin, double digits. Bell, Busch, Chastain, Blaney, all the way down at 12-1.
Yeah, but look, okay, so let's take Larson.
Start at the top, 5-1. He's the favorite. Trekker or Wrecker, Larson.
So Hendrick struggled here last year. Their best finish was 12th in this race last year. Didn't lead any laps. 12th was Larson. But he had 13th place speed last year there. He struggles at New Hampshire. He's pretty good at Phoenix. But like when you look at his season, he has 4 top 2 finishes with 2 wins, but then he has 9 finishes of 14th or worse, and 6 of those were 29th or worse. So he can't be trusted for me.
No. It's hard to throw him out though. I mean,
yeah, but are you gonna? I
don't know. I think he's got to be a hedge bet. I mean, you had 5-1. Some weeks you're getting 350 to 1.
Yeah.
I feel like you got to have him to cover the other guys, because if he's hot, you ain't gonna beat him.
Right.
If he's, but
so
it's tough.
Do you like him or Byron better?
Man, Byron's more consistent for sure.
Yep.
A little better odds. I don't know.
He struggled at Gateway last year too. I don't know that it changes this year to last year, but this was a struggle place for him last year.
Well, it was all of Hendrick. All of Hendrick struggled.
Yeah. But he won Phoenix this year. So.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Hendrick Motorsports doesn't give a about Gateway. Gateway is a race in the middle of June that doesn't matter. Phoenix matters. Phoenix, they hand out the big trophy. So while they are similar, they are not the same at all. You know, so I believe that while Mr. Hendrick doesn't like struggling anywhere, you know, got Garage 56, we got some executives over in France, we got a big distraction going on, we got Chase Elliott out of the car. I mean, you know, look, there's no guarantees, but I mean, I don't know why Hendrick all of a sudden would be good at Gateway.
So is
You
this
know
a
what I mean?
fade Hendrick weekend? Did you just say that?
Nope,
Okay.
didn't say that, but I don't think I would bet him. But I wouldn't fade him, as we've described
If there
multiple
was
times.
if there was a week to step back from them.
That's
they're
it.
in the
This
mix
isn't a
every
fade. This
week,
is
right?
called, you ever do the electric slide? We are shuffling back right now. This is left foot back. This is the Hendrick left foot back. We're not fading them, but we are definitely sliding off the head. We're going to slowly step off the Hendrick float.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then this moves right into Joe Gibbs Racing. Truex, Hamlin, Bell lined up 3 in a row, 10-1, 10-1, 10-1, basically.
Yeah, I like them all. I like
Okay,
them all.
so
Predictor
Professor,
S,
let's
Truex
review how
second.
betting works. You can't bet all 39, 6 guys, 7 guys. I mean, you could, I guess,
Pick
but
the winner.
you never miss a winner. All right, so seriously, you like them all. Talk to me. Truex, Hamlin, Bell, the stage is yours.
Yeah, Truex he had top 5 speed last year at Gateway. He's good at this style of track. He's been consistent the last 7 weeks. He's been really consistent. So that's where I stand on him. Denny last year, we can't really talk about him there last year because he got chastained.
How was he before he got chastained?
He was good. He was good. He finished
Do we
4th in the
think-
first stage.
I got a real question, though. Do we think this is more an emotional style question? Do we think Danny, after being right rear hooked and being so vocal, do you think that affects his performance on Sunday? Do you think he's more fired up to prove something? Do you think it's a distraction? You know what I'm saying, Chop?
Validated though. He got validated. You know, when NASCAR came out and suspended him, he was on that from the get-go. And he got validated, which probably surprised him, frankly. I mean, they're never lining up in his camp.
So for that reason, I don't think this is motivation. I think if they wouldn't have suspended Chase, I
Right.
think Denny would have gone out there, hair on fire, to whip everyone's ass, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of like, I hate to say it's a non-issue, because if you're a Chase Elliott fan, it's a big issue. But to your point, Chop, when the suspension came down, the book closed for DH. I don't think this is going to carry with any sort of momentum.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, Truex has been the consistent one for sure.
Yeah.
What's his last 7 weeks been? Give me some Truex finishes.
He was 7th at Bristol Dirt, 3rd at Martinsville, accident at Talladega, actually running decent, 1 at Dover, 8th at Kansas, had that accident at Darlington after leading 145 laps, and 3rd in the 600.
So if he's rolling, he's top 10. Hey, speaking of which, not to get sidetracked, I saw something on Instagram. If you bet Scotty Scheffler top 20 and keep pushing forward your bets, Chopper, he's had like 14 top 20s in a row. Your $1 is worth like 40 grand or something if you just keep doubling your money.
Wow.
I was wondering if it was going to work for Truex, but you had the 2 accidents in there. That's where this circle back around. Don't eye roll me, Professor. Just because you're in the studio, don't eye roll. Your Emmy's not behind you. I don't
He
hear your
hasn't raised his hand
bullshit.
yet.
That was a definite squirrel moment right there.
Oh, right there. That was, I felt like, was that you legal? I saw an eye roll. Was that you?
Hot rods with you this week.
The hot rod is with me in our European vacation with our 2 kids. So Truex is super consistent.
Yep.
Hamlin is a little like Bell, man. I mean, a little like Larson. He finds himself in some messes. I know they're not his doing, but man, that guy can find a wreck.
Yeah.
How about Bell? Christopher Bell. Seems to be a quiet year.
Well, he was really good early, and these last couple of weeks he's been 36th, 14th, and 24th. So, but he was good there last year, top 10, throughout the race. Finished 9th, fell back a little bit, finished 9th. But this is his kind of track, I feel like, just for some reason, like this, low banked, not real high speed oval.
All right, well, let's keep going because I like talking through the favorites. Busch, Chastain, last week winner Blaney. For sure, Blaney could go back to back.
Yep.
Chastain, surely. So here's the thing. I hate to say this. I wouldn't suggest Chastain to win a race until he wins a race at an oval. I don't know how else to say it.